Hi guys, I'm gonna say sorry at first because I have to record this on my phone. I recorded it on my laptop, but it wasn't working. So here's my presentation.
Hi guys, so today I'm going to be talking about displacing culture and cultural space. Culture is defined as something that people share, and culture can be both placed and displaced. So, example of placing culture and cultural space. Where are you right now? Are you in your classroom? Are you in the library? Are you at home? Are you in your office? And what are the things that are around you that represent your culture? So, um, what kind of books do you have? What language is being spoken around you? How is the architecture around you? How is the place where you are staying represents yourself or represents your people? We have two forms of identity: avowed identity and ascribed identity. Avowed identity is the way that we label ourselves and how we represent ourselves. Ascribed identity is the way that other people label us. Cultural space, I'm going to be talking about a lot of examples from Jordan. So, one thing is drinking tea after dinner. This is an example of cultural space simply because it's what we do in this country. So, after dinner, you could drink tea, you could drink coffee. If you're invited to someone's place, they usually give you both tea and coffee. Another example is religious symbols throughout the house. In my house, since I am Christian, we have a lot of Bible references. We have a lot of Bible pictures. Although I'm Christian, we also have the Quran, which is the Muslim Bible. Another example of cultural space is a verbal example. So the Arabic language, which is the mother language of Jordan, even if you speak English, you're supposed to be speaking Arabic when you go outside and when you go meet people and when you go to someone else's house. Cultural differences and cultural identity. Examples of that, of a cultural difference, is when I went to the US and I saw how people think, how I can be wearing something that reveals my skin. Unlike being in Jordan, I cannot wear something that reveals my skin. Cultural identity. When people assume that I am Muslim because I come from a Middle Eastern country. When I say that I'm Christian, I'm talking about myself and for myself. Displacing culture and cultural space. So, displacing culture is the nature of the cultural space and the relation between culture and place. So, as you can see in the picture, this is the traditional dance of Jordan, which is called Dibke. Do you think it is accepted if I just walk into the Union at Valparaiso University and start dancing like this? Those small questions that you see at the end of the slide, are questions that I would like you to answer in your discussion, if you would like to answer them. And I think it would be very interesting if we shared our thoughts. Segregated cultural space. Segregation is based on social, economic, racial, ethnic, sexual, political, and or religious differences. So examples of segregation is refugees in Jordan. So we have a specific place for refugees that they stay at. Do you have an example? Do you think that there is an example that you could give me about segregation of cultural space? There are many examples in the book that they talked about. The word ghetto is originally from Venice, Italy. where the Jews were segregated and required to live in the 15,000s. The system of the Native Americans. When Japanese Americans came to the US during World War II. And a simple example would be gated communities. So when you see a gated community, all you think about is that they have a lot of money. Contested cultural space. An example is Occupy Wall Street, which I actually studied about in another communication class. A contested cultural space is where people with unequal control and access engage in strategies to see what's on their mind. Also in the book there are a lot of examples. Have you ever joined something? Have you ever stood up for what you wanted? And finally, hybrid culture space. Hybrid culture space is where a specific group of people take over a space. For example, in San Diego or in California, there's a specific place where Arabs are most represented. Sorry, I had to think for a second. For me, this is the most interesting concept. For example, Jordanian cuisine restaurants in the US. Vice versa, fast food chains from the US all over the world, including McDonald's, Starbucks. And hybrid culture spaces are not just the blending of cultures. It's taking your own culture and putting it in the place where you are. Another aspect of hybrid culture space is the site of intercultural negotiation, which is immigrants making their space their home. Another aspect is site of resistance, which is dominating the other culture, or taking some aspects from the other culture, or even wiping out the other culture. The third and last concept is site of transformation, so using the other culture for your own benefit. I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation, and I hope you guys look at the outline and see the concepts that this chapter held for us. And if you have any questions, I am very happy to answer them and negotiate with you. And I'm looking forward for our discussions. Thank you very much.
Since I'm on my phone, I'm going to show you a couple of things that define me as what is my culture. So over here we have like a Bible, I have a cookbook, and you can see I have Valpo stuff over here and even art stuff. And some of the other culture things, you can see here is a picture of me in Egypt. I have the dictionary so I can understand English better. And over here we have another Bible, and down here we have a religious picture of Virgin Mary and me drinking my tea. So I would like to thank you guys and hope to see you and hear from you soon.